Content warning. This episode discusses suicide, trauma, and mental health. What happens when the person you love becomes a reminder of everything you lost? And what if the person trying to save you only ends up hurting you more? Call of the Night starts as a story about insomnia, late night freedom, but by the end, it asks something much darker. How do you live an ordinary life when trauma has already convinced you life isn't worth living? That question is at the center of the detective's story and why her arc hits me so hard. The detective is introduced as someone who despises vampires, not just dislikes them, she hates them. And at first, that hatred feels extreme, but then we learn the truth. Vampires killed her parents, the people she loved the most, and that kind of loss, when it never heals, doesn't fade. It calcifies. It becomes the lens you see the world through. Her hatred isn't really about vampires, it's about grief that never had space to breathe. And that's why her plan to be killed by a vampire isn't revenge, it's surrender. She didn't believe life was something worth continuing, and when she asked, "How do you live an ordinary life?" it's not curiosity, it's despair. What makes this even tragic is that deep down the detective just wants to be loved. You can see it in how she connects with Nazana. Nazana isn't just someone she feels comfortable around, she's someone she fell in love with. Nazana represents warmth, acceptance, and a version of life that doesn't feel suffocating. For someone who's lived in an emotional isolation for so long, that kind of connection feels like oxygen. And that love matters, because it makes everything that follows hurt more. Nazana tries to turn the detective into a vampire, believing it will free her, that it will fix her pain, and that transformation will give her an escape from a life she clearly hates. But trauma doesn't work like that. Becoming a vampire doesn't heal the detective, it makes everything worse. And in that moment, Nazana realizes something devastating. You can't save someone by changing what they are. For the detective, that failed attempt becomes a source of resentment towards the vampires, towards Nazana. And that's painful because the resentment is mixed with love. Imagine loving someone but also feeling like their action deepened your suffering. That's not evil, that's human. And I think this is the most important message in the arc. You cannot fix other people's trauma for them. Even if you love them, even if your intentions are pure, even if you truly believe you're helping. Sometimes inserting yourself as the solution only adds another wound. Sometimes trying to save someone is really about avoiding the harder truth, that healing has to come from within, and it takes time, support, and choice. Call of the Night doesn't romanticize this, it shows the consequences. I feel deeply sorry for the detective, not because of what she became, but because of what she never got to heal. Her story is a reminder that unprocessed trauma isolates us, distorts love, and makes ordinary life feel unreachable. And that love, when mixed with pain and desperation, can become something tragic instead of saving. Call of the Night may use vampires as its metaphor, but at its core, it's about loneliness, love, and the danger of believing someone else can fix what we haven't faced ourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I really enjoyed recording it, and I'll see you guys next week.